Guys, gals, and fellow gender non-conforming pals, welcome back. I'm C2A, and I skipped a vlog. Sorry. I meant to record 2 days ago, but I just got busy, so let's catch you up. There wasn't a whole lot too notable from the last lecture that we had. We were going over MIDI control interfaces, so we were shown essentially different ways that you can interact with software instruments or other MIDI devices through different means. So showing breath-based controllers, like I know Roland's got this sort of what you call it? As a fancy name for it, but it's essentially a saxophone, but it's like a MIDI control saxophone, but it's like this weird tube thing. There's also one called the tube. Going over like basses, guitars, MIDI as MIDI controllers, like those are very cool too. Different protocols that are used to communicate. So whether you have your what are they called, pitch in or trigger in, so you can have something where it's just a little plug-in, so you can plug your standard guitar in, and it measures the pitch and directly converts that to MIDI data. Or you could have a guitar that's set up, and we had a fella in a class today show this, and I'll probably put up a clip, where you can have your bass, or really any other instrument, like your guitar, you know, fretted thing. You can have your fretted thing have little sensors on all those bridges. So it can figure out what note you're doing, and then by the intensity of you plucking the string, that picks your velocity, how intense that sound is. That looked like this.
Isn't that crazy? So you pick the songs, right? Here's the bass.
That's really cool, isn't it? Yeah. So that was super fun. I really enjoyed that. Fellow's name is Bobby. Had a lot of great stuff to say today. But I guess the two lectures tie in really well together, so I guess it is good that I missed the last video log. Yeah. So that was tremendous. So seeing all that, like, in that video that you saw, there are all these crazy different things being controlled by MainStage, which is a live production variant of Logic Pro, DAW. So it's not a DAW, it's a live performance sort of thing that uses a lot of Logic's stuff, but it's not Logic, so you can play like live events with it. Essentially, it's front of house. If you know what front of house is, it's basically front of house instead of Logic, but using Logic stuff. Yes, he's controlling all these different instruments and all these different pitches and hitting not loops, what are they called? Samples. So playing samples back different ways. And there are even crazier things going on in the background where it's been set up in such a way that Bobby can play a sample in a different key. So you're not just pitching it, but you can change like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it literally, it seemed like it was going major minor. Like you could change that. That was mad. A bunch of things you can do with MIDI. MIDI's magical. That's pretty much lecture. On the lab side of things, the lab that happened before this one, it was just a free day. For the most part, I was able to get most of my stuff done, but let's pull up what I did do. So I was able to finish up pretty early and get out. I ended up not staying to do just extra stuff. So let's pull up FSO. So we were continuing the thing we did, the Logic project where we had to take all the MIDI stuff and make a song out of it. This is a continuation. So if I open up my project, so we have this project. And in here, we had to finally bounce our project, and we had to export the MIDI as well. So I got 2 bounces here, one in AIF form and one in MP3 form, and those play just fine. But then more importantly, I can go to the delivery file here and show that in action and show you what we did. There we go. Okay, hopefully I speed that up in post. If I did, I'll sound like a chipmunk and you would have obviously known. So, here we are. Aha! So, we had to go into advanced quantizing this time. So, instead of just quantizing things, you can change like swing, you can change strength. So what I did in this, if it'll play for me, will it? There we go. It's very subtle, what I did. But what I did is I went into the drums here and I created different sections. So you can see it, we have drums 1, drums 2, drums 3, drums 4, drums 5, 6, and 7. And every time it hits the chorus, it's perfectly quantized. But what I've done is, and this is required, you need at least 4 parts to do this. I had drums 1 set to 28% quantized strength, drums 3 to 32, drums 5 to 82, drums 6 to 83, and drums 7 had swing change to 67%, which is like pretty strong swing, like the strongest you can get. Not strongest you can get swing-wise, but like it's a very intense, noticeable swing. Gives you triplets. What else do we have to do? We had to bounce a MIDI file to audio. So in this case, I took the plucky bass and converted it to audio. And that's done pretty easily. You just select the track and then bounce in place, and then you choose all your settings. Or Control B, bounce in place. Muting and hiding as well. So we had to hide tracks. If I go close this out, you see it doesn't look like there are very many tracks here, but if I hit the hide button, boom, a few more tracks appear. Still not terribly large amount, but you see a few tracks are hidden, and that's a cool function that I'll definitely be using in the future for workflow. What I typically do is I'll use the loops here from the Ableton update, and I will drag my MIDI stuff into there and then delete it, so I can just like push it off in the void and not worry about it, and I'll literally refer to it as the void. But I'm doing that. Yeah. So I do that to a few different things. Hide everything that wasn't used, any MIDI tracks that are muted for your hardware instruments when you record them. Also, you had to record the hardware instruments, which I already did, so. Let's see. Give me the wires. There we are. See the wire strings with the Mother 32 bass line. Very cool, very cute. And that's pretty much it. Then we just bounce it, yeah. And the last few things were just like file management. So we wanted to export I don't need to say that. We need to export our preset for a reverb unit that we installed. I guess that's already on there, so I didn't show it. But I did add a reverb thing, or I added delay, I think, to the Mother 32. I did also add reverb to something, but whatever. And then MIDI track as well. So the MIDI track is god awful. I'll show you. So this is basically what we started with. So boom, and this is what you get to begin. God awful, isn't it? It's a far cry from what I had delivered. So I think I did a good job. Yeah. That was pretty much the lab. And then today in lab, because I finished that up, it was a free lab for me. So what I did is I brought in my Moog Terra Mini and I recorded some fun stuff with it. Let's move you down. I have one track that I've recorded. I can show you that now. so that's what that was like. Pretty fun stuff. But what I actually enjoyed more was I found this really strange thing where the Mother 32, it was accepting, what's it called? Signal. So, I have mustache hair in my mouth. It was accepting signal from the other synth next to it. What's it called? The System 1M. So the System 1M was sending signal to the Mother 32, but the Mother 32 didn't have anything triggered on it. So it shouldn't have made sound. But it did. It did make sound. And I was like, this is very strange. And then I started noticing if I changed up the pressure and the location I press on the tip ring sleeve system. So let me grab 2 patch cables here and I'll essentially show you what I was doing. Actually, let's get the right colors here. I was using a red and green wire. So let's get you a red and a green wire. Here is green wire. Boom. So what I was doing, let's here, I'll move to the side here to show you. Boom. So I was just tapping the tip to the sleeve of one. Surprisingly, it didn't work the other way. Actually, that's not surprising because it's different data. But I tapped the tip to the sleeve of one of the other patch cables, and it gave me this very strange buzzing sound. So I picked it up a lot. I added a lot of gain to it so you could hear it, and then it became a main instrument. And it was totally this super subtle noise bleed, but I boosted it like 17 decibels, and at that point, like, you definitely hear it. It's almost 4 times the amount. Every 10 decibels is doubling, so it's like almost 4 times the amount that it was previously in volume, apparent volume. Yeah, that sounded like this. Beautiful, isn't that? I thought that was really cool. That was one of my favorite things. Hopefully I didn't spend too much time editing that video together. Tell you what, I'll release the full thing as its own video separately, and I'll put a little bit more effort into that video if it's not already uploaded before this one. But I've got so much editing to do now that I'm doing the clapping thing to show videos. But you know, you deserve the quality. I've got you all here, you all watch the videos, you appreciate the videos, so I'm going to appreciate you back and give you some proper quality in these videos, such as those little clips. So yeah, you get to see the things I'm talking about. Which in fairness I should have done from the start. Now I'm doing it. It's alright, we're on what, 30 or something? Vlog 30, it only took us 30 of them to get here, so that's fun. The only other notable thing is there was this really cool block party that Full Sail had at the end of the previous lab, not the one I just had and came out of, but the previous lab, where I was working on the week 4 assignment. There was this little block party going for all the clubs, and I got to meet up with some new Full Sailors, and that's always a fun ordeal. So I know a few of you are watching, so hi, new friends, how do you do? It's always super fun meeting new Full Sailors, because I imagine a lot of people feel skeptical about Full Sail because it seems too good to be true, and honestly, like, I don't blame them. Like, it still feels that way, but it is true. I always half jokingly say that Full Sail is the Illuminati, because it's just like there are so many major projects, like almost every major project that's going out, Full Sail has it on a billboard, not to advertise it, but to advertise us, because we got like 30 grads working on it. We control like pretty much everything, you know? half joking, because of course it's not actually a pyramid scheme, but we do like have hands everywhere. Yeah. Full Sail is pretty influential, I must say. Yeah, like I don't know how to convince people other than just like go to Full Sail and experience it, but this place is genuinely magical. If you are a creative type and shoot, you can afford the money, you can afford to stay in Orlando, I mean, bloody go to Full Sail. Seriously, I'm not being paid to say this. The opposite, I'm paying them. And this place is amazing. This place is seriously amazing. It's and the lab that I'm using right now, the lab that we're going to record all this stuff, it's open for anyone who's a Full Sailer or alumni or just staff really to just use. If there's an empty seat, you can take it. Just don't, of course, disrupt the class or whatnot. But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna return back to that lab room whenever they're open and just like record some stuff. Be like, I need a Mother 32. I need a System 1M. I need a Virus. I need the Cord Chrome. Like, you can just go in and use this stuff and then airdrop your project to your MacBook. And they're open, like the labs are 4 hours long. So realistically, because the labs go back to back and there's like a one, I think one of them has like a 1 hour gap between the other. Realistically, you can be there for like 9 hours. Maybe 8 hours if that gap isn't a real thing. I think it is, but if it's not, still 8 hours at least you can be there and work. Most people working on their tiny little projects aren't working 8 hours. They're working maybe, 5, 6 max? So that's ridiculous. You can just do your stuff. Bring in your equipment. Don't bring your whole studio, please, but bring your equipment in. Like, I'll bring this thing back in maybe on Friday when I got another free lab. Maybe something else. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, this school is bloody amazing. I know it sounds too good to be true, and like, it just is that good. I don't know how to convey this without sounding like I'm some member of a weird pyramid scheme, but like, seriously, this school is freaking awesome. Yeah. I love Full Sail so much. Like, seriously, this place is awesome. Anyway. I got 2 more updates for you. Let's save the best for last. Update 1. Working with a few of my mates in class, trying to release a song, so doing a collab. And also, might be working with Trav3. I met up with Trav3 in an airport once, and had a Moog shirt on. I was like, hey mate, I love Moog. You got Moog? He's like, yeah, I got the grandmother. I'm like, oh my god, I got the matriarch. Yeah, we're like cousins or something. And yeah, we worked on a few things. Always chatting up with like, what's it called? Talking workflow, talking business and whatnot. And Trav3 actually did a mix of Greed, which is really cool. I uploaded that. So it's on both of our Spotify stuffs. It's a really fun mix. You should check it out. Link maybe in the description or something. Yeah, I love working with people. Just like seeing how my vision fits into something else, how someone else's vision can fit into my place. And because when you work by yourself, it's all you. And it's all stuff like, yeah, that's what I was hoping for. When you work with someone else, there's this autonomy of what they have that's not you making it. And now there's this magic of like, well, when you speak music, it's fluent. Everything understands each other. It all works together. So they can have this completely separate idea from you, but it's in the same key, it's in the same BPM, it's in the same everything else, and it works. And you get this beautiful combination of ideas. And that's magic. That is, you can't do that by yourself. You just can't. It's bloody amazing. So I'm planning to work with some of my mates. Probably tonight I'll get on Discord and meet up with them. Yeah, get some stuff going. I'll do some like weird synthy pad stuff for the ambient atmospheres, the growling synth atmospheres and whatnot. So that'll be cool. And the second thing The big note for you all. Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2 is coming soon. That's right. We're pushing another album. For real this time. I know, I keep saying I'm going to make that a song. I'm going to push that. I'm going to push this. A lot of the projects I've been waiting on, and a lot of the song-a-days as well, are going to be converted into tracks in Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2. So I think Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers is going to be this series on all of my distribution platforms, where all the just crazy nonsense stuff that's good, but it's not like a full like solo thing I'd release by itself, I can put out there. Because I would love to release my stuff that I've been making recently, because it's miles better than everything else. I imagine like when I release Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2, it's going to be my top listened to stuff. Because right now Noise is still that, and Noise was good, but Noise was like one of my first projects I put up on there. I had Don't Tell Me What Counts, which is like the album of my first stuff, kind of that introspective thing of me saying to myself, hey, you don't get to say what counts as music. If someone likes it and it's rhythmic, that's music. I don't have to say if like someone doesn't like it, it's not music, but like you know what I mean. Hopefully. Yeah, so Volume 2 is going to be very fun. I've got a bunch of projects planned there. A few things that I'm thinking about making its own separate thing. Might be a different EP. But right now, check this out. 11 songs are planned, with 3 more on the back burner of potentially being there as well. I've got a lot of mixing to do. I've got a lot of mastering to do. Maybe some re-recording as well, because a lot of the vocoding, not vocoding, the talk boxing wasn't the best. So I had 1 hour to make a lot of these. But now that I have like infinite time, because it's not a challenge anymore, I'm just like distributing it. Push some proper work into them. So I'm going to remix, master a lot of these song-a-days. I'm still working on Celestial Waltz. I'm still working on Android Hell. I'm still working on a bunch of other tracks, trying to push those. Unbound Chaos, Pad Thing. I want those to be in there as well. So lots of really fun stuff. And I want to show off like I've improved as an artist so much since just coming to Full Sail. And it's not shown in my discography, in my different distribution platforms. It's not shown there. So I want to show that because it's only on YouTube right now. Yeah, so that'd be cool. But yeah, lots of really good info in this vlog. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any ideas for future videos, if you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Get back to them, put them here, put them here, put them on my face, cover myself, hide. And then, yeah, be fun, interactable stuff. But as always, I hope you all take care of yourself. God be with you. And goodbye, YouTube.